I apologize.
No worries, no worries.
Fortunately, this is be even better for marketing reasons because there will be a talk with Concetta number one and talk with Concetta number two,
Yeah, nice.
and we can market it better. Anyway, what I was listening to you, you were speaking about many different outputs from the environment, and that it's too much for us, and then it stops. So maybe you can start. I can read the question again if you don't mind,
Mhm.
and you can answer again.
Yeah,
Is it okay?
perfect.
Thank you very much. I will read it again. So the question was, how has the digital or AI era changed the way our brains handle attention, Conchita?
Yes, so it's very complex, but two things I think are very, very sure, let's say, because there are a lot of different scenarios, but what I see for sure, one is that AI is multiplying exponentially the number of the information. So we have so much information we are exposed to, and it's difficult to understand what's important for us and what's relevant for us. That's the main point. It's not the information in itself, but the way we are in relationship with them, because it's difficult. It's also extenuating, like it's exhausting to understand this is relevant for me, and many of them are just created for the sake of creating. So you have also not only a lot of information but really redundant. So it's really difficult to deal with that. And the thing that we are doing here and now, instead of paying attention, like the main task has become the skip, let's say just the checking part. Okay, is this somehow relatable to me? So we don't go straight to the focus phase, but first we want to figure out if can be relevant, because of course focus is like a costly activity, so we don't want to spend it for everything. So we are just like trying to scan and figure out what is important. And the second thing is that we are getting used to having always an answer. So whatever you have, there is someone giving you an answer. And this, I think, it's good from one end, but on the other end, makes us less patient and less able to deal with that moment in which you don't see the answer. And that's where actually also creativity thrives, because it's from there that you start having ideas and create possibilities. So having always an answer is like, without having to looking for it and search and be curious, can be something that affect focus and
Mhm,
attention.
mhm.
Yeah.
Also, I know that you mentioned a couple of times at your workshop ADHD and people. Usually, I think your focus is entrepreneurs who have something in their life connected with ADHD.
Yeah.
How could you help them? What kind message would you like to give to them?
So I've been the most, well, the most interesting part is that working with entrepreneurs, like working with people who have ADHD and people who don't have, usually it's like when we think about working with people with ADHD, we think we have to do something different. But what I've been seeing is that actually we have to work on different levels, because also for the people who we consider normal or without problems, we don't do it also for them. So what I discover is that we don't need to do more differently with people who with a focus problem, but we have to do something different from everyone. And for example, addressing something that is not really, really well addressed, which is, for example, the first layer, that is the one that is more related to neurophysiology, which is never taken into account, for example. And the fact that we start from there can really be beneficial to everyone. So, what I want to address is really the commonalities, because it's like the commonalities that are missed so far. And I can tell that everyone has huge, huge results.
Thank you.
So, yes.
Mhm. Thank you for sharing. It's important. Also, you are mentioning in your research productivity hacks. Could you maybe reveal a couple of them to us here today?
Well, actually, so there are a lot of productivity hacks that are, first of all, are too generic, and we have very different strategies. As I said, like also ourselves, we have different strategies. So no wonder it's very difficult to find one that is okay for everyone. And then basically they are on the more focused on the execution part. So if you want to do something that is very executive, so I need to get this thing done and I have to do it in this time, uh, okay, but usually they makes you get used to this kind of approach to focus, which is not always the case, because if you want to do something that is more creative, you don't go with the same process. So you have to gather idea, generate idea, which is kind of the opposite of the execution. So in that case, it's very difficult to take these tips and apply to the creative approach, and without actually kill the creativity. So it's always a bit difficult to get. And also, since everyone has their own answer, because maybe it works for them, and they go, okay, this is what you should do, and you have a lot of competing messages that tells also opposite things. So it's very difficult also for you to understand, okay, these are the options, but now what? And we don't even have the consistency, for example, to stick with a protocol and see if it works or not. So it's a bit tricky, like just getting tips or tricks like general like this way.
What I really liked in your workshop was that you said that the one kid had to have put
Yes.
headphones in
Yeah.
order to concentrate better, and he put only one headphone on his ear, and
Yeah.
the teacher was asking him why, and he said so that he knows what's happening around him in this neighborhood. This
Yeah.
I liked very much, and it inspired me a lot.
Wow,
So,
this is lovely.
mhm, um, please tell us, what is the future projects you are preparing? What can we be looking forward to from your side?
Well, for sure, I hope one book, but it will come and it will explain exactly a different way to approach really the way we think about attention and focus. And also keep going with this workbook that I already published and is available on Amazon, and improve this protocol, and also get people to test and really consolidate this protocol, this framework. And of course, like expanding the focus gym as a in-person event, also in different cities.
But mainly in the Netherlands, right?
No, I would like to expand in different countries, of course, and that's why I'll be recruiting some facilitators that can also lead this kind of events for me.
I would like to introduce to you a possibility or offer you a cooperation in the Czech Republic,
Oh,
where I
amazing!
have a great 6,000 members group of entrepreneurs here in the Czech Republic. So you are very welcome to go through this channel.
Oh, this is amazing!
So
Yes.
we will see, and you are welcome. Concetta, what is your final message for our audience?
Wow. So, final message. One thing that I always notice when I talk with people is that people have some kind of an ideal uh, picture of attention, and also what we read or what we have around. It is kind of nurturing this idea. But actually, there is not this kind of ideal. There is no one that is who is able to sit down and stay focused for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, and even if they can, it's not healthy. So one thing that I always invite people to do is figure out what is difficult for you. So for example, I cannot read more than 1 hour, and go to other people and ask, like friends and everyone, and ask, can you read for 1 hour? Can you do this? Because what you discover, like really, it's surprising, is that you won't find anyone that can do what you think it's possible. So basically, you are creating your frustration thinking about an ideal that is not there. It's impossible. But we kind of grow convinced that this is possible. So it's really nice to ask people and confront yourself and understand, is this something that is even possible, or is just me creating this impossible idea of focus and attention? And the more we ask other people, the more we reshape the expectation that we have from ourselves.
Thank you.
You're
Perfect.
welcome.
Now we are behind the scenes. So officially, I would like to end this podcast. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
And now we will chat freely about some things. This is behind the scenes.
Mhm.
And I was also had an infection of brain in the
Uh-huh.
past before 10 years
Uh-huh.
from some disease called encephalitis borreliosis.
Ooh.
And this caused me not only to lose attention, but also to lose focus
Mhm.
and memory losses.
Wow.
Yes. So, but I worked on myself, and the doctor told me that half of my brain cells had been destroyed, and
Wow.
then slowly, even with the use of medicine and stuff and healthy and spiritual development, I managed to regenerate them. And
Beautiful.
also, I have a meditation coach who is helping me to increase attention from 20 minutes to now we are at 40 minutes. So it's a good,
Oh,
we are increasing my attention span. So everything is possible. So the things which you are saying were very interesting for me.
wow. That's
Mhm.
incredible.
Mhm.
Well, but this really makes me think that, okay, the doctors can tell you what I mean, statistics. They cannot tell you something different, but the way you deal with the problems, it's really what makes the difference. Like we can do a lot of things that we're not even aware about. It's crazy. It's incredible. Wow, well done. Really
Mhm.
well done. And which kind of spiritual research and guidance did you get?
Yes, I'm looking at Joe Dispenza, Bruce
Oh,
Lipton,
yes.
and Greg Braden.
Mhm,
Not only them, but many more great people from this field and
mhm.
studying at the Flow Summits. And
Wow.
this is about editing, also the past emotional memories and
Mhm.
many other things. So winter swimming also, which
Wow.
means that cold water every day during the year, and
Wow.
and that's it. Barefoot walking
Wow. This
and
is
some
really.
supplements like this for vitamins, and
Uh-huh.
that's it basically. I'm
Wow.
not doing like extra much, but I'm trying to do every day a little bit.
Wow. But also one thing that I always think about attention and focus, but in general, like the way our culture, what I think is that it's like I need to be able to be focused these minutes, otherwise my attention is not working. But what I think is that attention is there not because it's like a challenge, but it's something that you use to live. It's a tool. It's not something that you have to nurture because it has to be there. Everything is related to the way we thrive in the world. And it doesn't matter actually how much you can stay focused on something. That's more related to an idea of focus that is more related to productivity. You have to be productive. And maybe you can be super focused and super careful with people. You can listen to them and understand to them and still not be able to study a chapter of a book that you don't care about, for example. So the fact that you measure attention and focus based mainly on your result in school, for example, it's relevant, but still it tells not so much about the real value of focus, which is stay connected with what's around us, with other people, and be able to see what's relevant for our life. Also noticing things that are kind of more spiritual, that can give us way more than, I don't know, doing this test and getting 10 out of 10. And today it seems to be more that if you have good focus, you're the one that gets 10 to 10 on a test. So it's interesting. It's very interesting.
One more thing I liked in your workshop was the fact that you mentioned that, for example, 1 hour working on the computer, 1 hour walking in the forest and thinking creatively.
Yeah.
1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. And this is also what I heard from other successful entrepreneurs, that they are doing it like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
these are very successful entrepreneurs. So when my father, who is old school,
Uh-huh.
hears that I'm working only 4 hours a day, he's like, you should be working 8 hours a day. And I'm trying to explain him that I am working 8 hours a day, but different way than he did when he was younger.
Yes, but I think that this that you are mentioning is so important because, like, what I think is that also our focus is changing because we don't have anymore that kind of moral value of attention. So if you go to school 50 years ago, you had to study because that was a huge lack, because otherwise you go and work in the field and your parents are doing a lot of sacrifice. There is the teacher that can correct you, but nowadays no one believes anymore in school, so you have to go there. But still, if you want to be a millionaire, you can also drop school, and that is not really relevant. So it, like the old generation had some kind of also of ethics of work, so the 8 hours in itself are of value. But nowadays not anymore like this. So, and it's interesting because I'm asking myself, if we remove these ethics that support focus and attention, then you have to build something else. Otherwise it's normal that you don't have it. Why put in effort in something that is not anymore relevant for me?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So it's really like a cultural and also related to society, this idea that attention is changing.
Concetta,